I'm gonna tell you guys my experience and the issues I have with getting a haircut at basic training and how to fix it so when you guys go there, y'all not looking ate the hell up. I can tell y'all this right here. Getting a haircut sucks. But yeah, that's something that you already know. Even if you had no experience about the military, you already know that it's almost like a rite of passage to go get that bald eagle shade across your head, go bald and stuff like that. Get that secondhand embarrassment, you know, start from the bottom, like, you know, break it down and build you back up. The hair is the ultimate sign of that initial, you know, process. So that's understandable. But I did not know the actual, well, actually the lack of health precautions and protocols that is not taken while getting a haircut. Because when you go to a regular barbershop versus a military barbershop, you're gonna think things should be ran with better accordance, you know what I'm saying? And it was very crazy, surreal, and almost baffling that things that seem like common sense. So how getting a haircut at base training works is every other Sunday, except for the first time, except when you first arrive there, you're gonna get a haircut. So you're gonna go in line with your platoon, go to the barbershop, and it's gonna be right next to the PX. Well, this one for Fort Jackson. You guys gonna single file, you're gonna snake the line, and then y'all can get a haircut, file in. So that sounds pretty efficient. Everybody goes in, it's like 3-4 barbers in there that is year. And I can tell y'all this, if y'all got waves, y'all waves gonna be gone. I can tell y'all that right now, because they gonna go against the grain. So if you're any African Americans or Foundation Black Americans or anybody with waves, they going against the grain with your thing. So you're gonna look crazy. So they not gonna do like this. So just be prepared for that. So you think that's gonna be efficient, but guess what? It's gonna be a whole different type of hair textures, different type of races, and people that never cut their hair. So when they go hard against the grain, guess what happens? If you haven't got hair cut in like 10, 15 years, some people's scalps might bleed, some people might get patchy, some might have some weird like type of infection on their head, you don't even know it. And you're gonna be like, ew, like people gonna come out the barbershop looking crazy, and you're gonna see people got blood droppers on them. It's gonna look nasty. And guess what? You gotta come in next. And guess what they don't, the barbers do not do? They do not clean their clippers off. Think about it. Somebody was bleeding from their heads that they didn't shave for and about to hit your head next, and they do not clean the clippers not one time. Do they give y'all alcohol? No. And guess what? With all that crappy haircut, guess what you gotta do? I didn't know this. You gotta pay to get a haircut. I think it's like $8 to $11, more to 10 to 11 than $8. So you gotta pay $11 for getting a patchy haircut. They don't even like touch your face at all, and then your neck. But do you really want them to touch your neck when they just scout some other guy that's bleeding? You want that bloody clipper to touch your face? You don't. They don't touch anything. You pay. It's crazy. But here's the way to avoid that altogether. And hey, before I even say this, I don't want y'all to be like, tell everybody, be like, hey man, once I do this, everybody can do it, because what drill sergeant gonna do? They probably gonna flip it around and make y'all do last. Here's what you gotta do. After your first haircut, or even before that, you're gonna get an Eagle Cash card. So you may not get the pass on the first time, but the second one you should. Take out cash. Take out cash. Take out cash. Cash, based on when I went to basic training, cash went first. Cash was king. Cash went first, and then the cards went. So if you guys can get cash, say take out like $88 something, just $88, something like, and you don't get that money. Even if you don't use your Eagle Cash card, that money will go back to your bank anyway, so it don't even matter. So take out this $88, and then you can go first to get your haircut. Because when the first people go, they clean the clippers off with the first person, and then they just start beelining and get people through. So be the first ones to get your haircut first. Whether you gotta be in the top of the formation when you march over there, or just get cash. Make sure you're first. That's probably the number one and two thing that I recommend doing. Being first to get a haircut, or bring cash, because cash always, or more than likely always goes first, based on my experience when I went to base training. Number three, I highly recommend having a bottle of hand sanitizer or some type of sanitary wipes when you guys are getting a haircut, because when you guys are getting a haircut, they do not alcohol your head down. So your head is open pores, got all bacteria from the clippers and other people, blah, 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 and you're gonna be looking crazy. So get some hand sanitizer or something to So like you sanitize your head and rub it down. Have something on your head, because a lot of people do get a lot of skin conditions and issues because they never like wash their head or sanitize it. It's crazy like how people don't do it. They have a lot of people went to the sick call, or not sick call, but later on went to like the doctor and stuff like that. They had a whole bunch of rings or infections on their head and didn't even know it. So make sure you sanitize your head once you're done leaving the barber. So just buy some hand sanitizer, you straight. Another thing I recommend, I would try to at least get this right here. If you guys have a saving profile, you might can slide with this. But if you don't have a saving profile, you may not be able to get away with this. But you can get a saving profile like this going to sick call like the first week. Buy some battery power. Remember, battery powered clippers. Don't buy like stuff like this, don't got no battery, because you ain't gonna be able to charge it, and if they do inspections, they may confiscate this or tell you to leave it in the room. But if you guys have a battery powered razor, you should be able to slide through, because they're gonna tell you to get the ones at the PX, but the PX battery shavers are terrible. They don't pick up any hair or nothing. It's absolutely horrible. So go on Amazon or whatever and get a battery powered one. Only thing I don't recommend you guys doing, because people got in trouble for this. Well, they actually prohibited it because someone actually announced it. You can't shave other people's heads. So don't be a barber in there, because you're gonna get in trouble for doing that. Even though girls, can do people's hair and get a fee for it, but guys can't. You can't shave any guy's head. It's stupid, but you can't. I literally got some clippers of mine, and then I started shaving my head down. Actually, no, I had got a razor, and then I got my clippers, and I got a true bald head, getting all the patches out of my head and stuff like that, and also be able to tighten up on certain things that they miss. Even though, how can you miss on a bald head? But that's besides the point. But I recommend getting those tips. Also, my personal opinion, I know in basic training this is a common thing with far as girls and guys, about girls getting haircuts. Should girls get haircuts? I personally say no. However, in the same breath, I think if any girl gets any type of hair alterations where it's actually cut down, then you gotta go bald. I'm sorry, because we had one person that was in there. She was always talking mess about guys going bald. She was more like the manlier guys or girls there, whatever, how you ever want to call it, whatever, how you want to identify it. She had long flowing hair, whatever, looked nice, everything. Came back in BBL, had a fade, and we looking like she got a fade, and no one says nothing, even though it's in regulations. We all thinking dang, we could got fades. Her stuff look clean cut. We can get fades too. We should be able to get fades. And then one scenario where we was about to go graduation, and she was like, "Can I go with the guys to the PS so I can get my hair trimmed up and stuff?" And the senior just started "You gonna go over there? You gonna go bald?" Nah, I'm good. So the fact that when a girl had actually got a fade and it was optional for them to go get a haircut, I didn't think that was fair. So personally, like I was saying before, if a girl actually trimmed down their hair to a man style cut, they need the rules need to apply for a girl. Because here's why I say that, because when you get a shave profile, right, and you temper with that shave profile, because remember, being a female in a sense, it's almost like getting a profile, because you can't know how to shave your hair. So, but once you temper it, you should be able. That should be null and void. Same way that if you get a shave profile, if you trim your hair, you got to shave anything. So if you say you got a beard and you can't shave it, but if I trim it, that's already saying if you can trim it, then you can cut it. If they can shave, they can shave their hair down to a fade, then they can go bald. I think that's fair if you do that, because I don't think that's right to have a girl with a fade. But that's besides the point. Overall, my experience getting a haircut was, I didn't like it, because they force you to get haircuts. Even if you didn't need a haircut, you gotta go bald no matter what. Even if it's, and I don't get it. I think after initial balding, I think you shouldn't have to get a haircut, because long as you stay in regs. But I think that's a lazy way to kind of do it. But I understand it's basic training. But I don't think it's right that girls can pay to get their hair styled and cut and whatever, and they can actually make their own money. But it's no situation where a guy can cut another trainee's head and make money off it, which I didn't think that was. I think that was kind of whack. Plus, I didn't like the fact that people with hair have if it's freezing, they purposely a lot of times they wait till the coldest day to get people's haircuts, so it can be, and you can't wear the Scully. This Scully is out the window. So say it's 35 degrees. And you get a fresh haircut, you bald. You can't even put a Scully on the cup of your head. You got the wind blowing across you. looking crazy. And that's still a health hazard at the end of the day. No matter how much you say you gotta toughen up, you can still get sick from that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people do get sick a lot in basic training. And then guess what? If one person gets sick, then that gets everybody sick because we all within close confined areas. But that's my take on it, man. Let me know what you guys think about getting a haircut in base training. Personally, I think you should get a haircut because I do believe in that concept of, you know, start from scratch, that little cliche and stuff like that. That's totally cool. But I think certain regulations as far as like this health protocols need to be fixed. Like people barbers need to clean their clippers. Every person that they cut their hair, not just the first person and then go all the way through. They need to clean their clippers. They need to sanitize people's head with alcohol and make sure that if there's blood on there, they need to do something that can minimize the way they press the clippers on someone or whatever they need to do, because that is nasty. That is crazy that you can have have a head full of blood and you're still cutting hair without cleaning your clippers, or you just doing a spray down. That is crazy to me. So let me know what you guys thoughts. Hit the subscribe button and I'm out going.